What is up, YouTube? It is your boy ChrisLeeTV. How are you guys doing? Happy New Year. As you can see by the title, this video is about why you need to get your CDL in 2019. So let's get into it. Sorry for the delay in videos. I've been a little busy. As you guys know, I am now working locally. I'm off the road. So I just want to kind of explain why it's important to go ahead and get your CDL in 2019. Let's go ahead and get into this video. So one of the main reasons I made this video is because I thought, like, in 2017, like, where was I? Because 2018, that whole year, I had my CDL. I got my CDL February of 2017, and I've had it since. So I was just kind of thinking, like, where was I before this? And it wasn't the best place or anywhere that I wanted to be. So I got my CDL, and now I mean, it's like so many doors opened up for me when I got my CDL, and I think that has really helped improve where I am in life right now. Right now, as you guys can see, I'm at home. I'm working local now, so I'm in my room, and I mean, it just has immensely helped me, like, move forward with my life and to prepare for my future. So getting my CDL was one of the best things I feel like I did, like, in my whole entire life. I was tired of working minimum wage jobs. I was tired of the dead end stuff. If you have watched my videos, you see that I owned a moving company before I started trucking, and I was doing Uber, and I worked at American Airlines, and all that stuff was just kind of like, it was cool, but I don't know if it was my patience or it just wasn't for me. I know that working in an office setting, it kind of was just like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't what I liked, or wasn't what I wanted, and I got really antsy. Maybe I have ADHD or something. But being on the road, like always being somewhere different, seeing new things, meeting new people, like you're traveling the entire United States. And I think that's something that really, it worked with me. Like, it worked with my family. It worked with me, like, just not being able to sit down and be bored. Like, you're always on the go. So it really helped me with that. So if you're that kind of person, like, getting your CDL might just be something you might want to do. I know, like, making $200 a week minimum wage, and I think I was making like $12 an hour when I was at American Airlines, or maybe like it was between 10 and 12. And I remember just like barely getting by, like barely being able to do things, not being able to contribute to my retirement properly. Purchasing assets was out of the questions. Not having a proper savings account. There was like really no future for me where I was working. Was one check, you know what I'm saying? Once you have like something pop up and you don't have a savings account, you're literally like one step or one check away from being kicked out and put on the street. And I feel like that's kind of where I was. Like, if I didn't get that check, you know, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. So if you don't get that check, then you're in some trouble. And I think, you know what I'm saying, that was something that I was extremely afraid of. And I mean, some people don't care about that. And I don't know how you, like, you know what I'm saying? I cannot, and that was one of the things that I wrote down on my board. Like, I was tired of living paycheck to paycheck. And like, I no longer do that. I have a great savings account. Like, everything just clicked for me when I, you know what I'm saying, got my CDL. And I know that there's a lot of like things that people say that kind of get you away from jumping in that truck and getting your CDL and doing things like that. People say like your first year you don't make any money, and that might be true, but you have to sacrifice. You have to do things that you what do they say? Do what you have to do so you can do what you want to do. And that's where I am now. I did what I had to do, and now I can do kind of what I want to do. I'm still doing what I have to do a little bit until some things that I have in the works kind of get rolling. there's a learning curve. I had never driven a manual shift anything, and when I got in that truck to learn how to drive, like, it was just a whole nother experience. It was this big machine, and I had to learn how to operate it. But one thing I didn't do was give up, because I saw like a bigger picture. I knew that there was going to be a bigger opportunity for me once I learned how to do it. And I learned how to do it, and you know what I'm saying, I'm here now. Finding the right company, now that is one of the hardest things, is finding the right company. I've heard so many just stories of people just working for a bad company, and having to find somewhere new. But that's the thing about trucking. Like, you don't want to go and like jump a company hop or whatever, like just go from company to company. You want to find like a good place. You don't have to make like all the money, you know what I'm saying? Just make money to where you're good. I don't look for the like all the money, because that's something that you keep chasing, and that's why people, I feel like, leave jobs. That's probably one of the biggest reasons, is chasing money and like just being treated poorly. If you have any other things that you would leave a company for, go ahead and drop them in the comments. I would love to read those, on why you have left a particular company. If you watch my watch my channel, you see why I left my first company. And it wasn't anything kind of, well, I said it in the video, and I've also thought about it a lot. And I could have did a lot better at that company if I would have just kept my first truck. But I'm not going to talk about things that could have happened, only things that will happen. So finding the right company, and then your attitude is a big play. So that's like the top three: just chasing money, not having a good relationship with your company, and then your attitude are like the top three things that can keep you or deter you away from a company. So if you have a bad attitude, even like while you're in training, you have a bad attitude. If you have a bad attitude, it's going to stop, like, it's going to hurt you in the short run, long run, it's going to hurt you. If you always have, you know what I'm saying, you're always down, you're always, oh, this, oh, that, everybody's against me, I'm not making any money, like all these complaints, like, you have to stop complaining, and you just have to figure out what's going to work for you. Because complaining is not going to work for you. Like, it doesn't help anybody when you complain. Like I said, and then there are some benefits. The benefits of trucking and getting your CDL, you can make over minimum wage depending on where you go. You just want to always make sure you know how much you're getting paid. Do all your calculations, like figure out your budget, and then figure out how much you get paid, and then you can make a better decision off of that knowledge, if you know how much everything you have costs. And I would say cut costs too. I had to cut a lot of costs. I mean, like, it's just kind of common sense. Like, if I'm not going to be home, and I was over the road for a year, so I didn't need a car. And now I'm back home and I'm driving locally. Yes, I do have a car. I paid cash for my car. It was about $3,000. So I'm not back home and splurging and, you know what I'm saying, buying all these crazy cars and Maseratis and Benzes. Okay, if we have a down payment, we can get all that kind of stuff, and we'll be making that monthly payment, but it's going to eat your check up when you make decisions like that. So I'm not out here stunting for the gram. So like I said, you're making more than minimum wage. You're able to put money aside for, you know what I'm saying, your sunny day fund, not your rainy day. Because when you think about stuff like that, then you actually, something bad, I feel like, will happen. I'm really into positive affirmations. So if I have a sunny day fund, and then like it's something for like good to happen, like a vacation, or maybe something like, I don't know, something good, like, I don't have a budget to eat, or I ran out of my budget to eat out, and there's just like special at a restaurant, you know what I'm saying? I have a sunny day fund, so I can reach in for that, you know what I'm saying? Go give me some good vegan plant-based foods, you know what I'm talking about? I would think other benefits of trucking is you kind of are in solitude. Like you're by yourself. You get to think a lot about life. Think a lot about your next decision, your next move, what you want to do. And I had a lot of time to think about that for my time over the road. I had so much time to think about what I wanted to do. And if you watched my video on if I lost my CDL, like that was kind of me thinking about things that I could do if I lost my CDL. But like you have a lot of time to think about stuff like that, where if you're at, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's just, I feel like you have a lot of time to think about life and things like that. You get another benefit of being over the road and getting your CDL is that you get away from poor-minded people. And what I mean by like a poor-minded person is someone who's always talking about like, oh, you got that, but you don't have this or something like that. Like just people who think you should keep up with the Joneses. And that's not a good look. You know what I'm saying? You're always going to be broke if you're trying to keep up with someone else. And poor-minded people, as far as people who, I feel like poor-minded people in my, you know what I'm saying, my area, people who always talking down, people who always say, oh, you're getting your CDL, I tried to do that and it didn't work out for me, it's not going to work out for you. Like, what are you talking about? Like, just people who don't know what they're talking about. You get completely away from those people, because I feel like, you know what I'm saying, energies are contagious. And if somebody has an energy around me, oh, you can't do this, or you can't do that, or, you know what I'm saying, somebody's trying to be like a boss to me or something like that, or they're giving me bad advice, I stay away from those kinds of people. I get really weird around those types of people, and I can tell like when someone's kind of off, when their energy is off, I'm just like, okay, you know what I'm saying, I back up completely. So getting my CDL helped me stay away from poor-minded people. Also, I've said this several times in this video, but I think it's very important. Getting my CDL helped me make more money so I could save and also invest in whatever, the stock market and assets and 401k or whatever, and IRAs, Roth IRAs. You get a lot more money to do things like that. I know a lot of truckers who don't have retirement funds, but they have, you know what I'm saying, they have their own trucks, they have homes, they have land, they have, you know what I'm saying, all kinds of things, but they wouldn't have any of that if they didn't start their career and get their CDL. And the last benefit of getting your CDL is that this career field is in such a high demand that if you do land in the wrong place, like you will get hired. You will get hired if you have your CDL. If you have your endorsements on there, then that just gives you a greater opportunity to find a job that pays well. And myself, I'm currently working on getting some of my endorsements just so that I'm able to get more money at the company I'm at. Oh, I want to talk about some of the mistakes I made. Well, I did talk about some of the mistakes I made. I don't know. I'll have to make a whole new video. In my next video, I'll talk about the mistakes I made in trucking. I hope that you guys like this video. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think about any of the things that I said in this video. What made you get your CDL? Like, what was the tipping point for you that made you want to get your CDL and change your life? I would love to read those comments. So please leave them down below, and I will read a couple off in my next video. Thank you guys for watching. It is your boy Chris Lee, and I'm signing out. Deuces.